Am I hitting it?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Brian Galke. Yes, it's been a couple of days. It's we had Veterans Day this week, so I was off that day, and we don't do Monday. And then last week, Brian was gone to a bunch of conventions and speaking about that, and he can tell us about it today when we're talking on here. And thanks for being here. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. So last week you're at a couple different speaking engagements. What'd you find? Anything amazing that you found that you talked about or you heard?
Well, so there's a lot. So I started off at something called Bookable Speaker, and that was so there's speakers bureaus and there's speakers agents. So it's kind of like there's, you can either work for a team or, you can be in the draft, or you have an agent who represents you. And that's the same thing. So there's a lady named Krista Haberstack. We've had her on as a guest before. Her book is somewhere on my desk over here. I'll find it.
We'll believe you. They can go back and watch the one
exactly.
on YouTube.
But so she's really been putting out there about what's changing in the industry. And there was several groups that in this last year have imploded that used to offer speaker training. So she did a 2-day event, and she partnered with somebody who I actually recommended her book to this guy. And he ended up reaching out to her and said, hey, look, this book is fantastic. More speakers need it. So he ended up kind of co-managing it with her. So it was really good. Did that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday night had kid. And then I ended up getting last minute an invite to go to, I did something local. I can't think of what else it was, but then I ended up flying to Vegas to go work an event, dinner for like a client appreciation dinner for some attorneys, a personal injury attorney that does her big event. Normally it's in Scottsdale. This time they did it in Vegas. So flew out there last minute on Saturday, worked that event for a couple hours. Then Sunday got to meet up with some people who live locally out there. Oh, I know where I was. I was in Phoenix after that. So I went from the event in, in Dallas. Right. Then after I dropped my daughter off at school on Wednesday, I flew to Phoenix, was out in Phoenix Wednesday, Thursday, flew home Thursday night, and then Saturday flew to Vegas. But it was a good week, man. I got to meet up with a lot of people that we've known through the groups, through Steve Sims, through Brad Lee, through just a bunch of people. So when I was in Arizona, I went back to that clinic that Sean Drake owns. And by the way, he wants to reconnect with you on some veteran stuff. So I went and stopped by his clinic while I was out there. So I flew out because I did a podcast on Wednesday night with Brian Grosso. Did you meet him at the Speakeasy at the LA one, right?
Probably. I have to.
Him and his wife Carrie. She's the bodybuilder. He's the strength lifter. They're the ones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
I see Carrie. I see her all the time on Facebook.
He's gone kind of quiet, and he's working on new projects. I have to show you. So I'm going to do the bad thing and step away for a minute.
Where'd he go?
He's relaunching his podcast, and so it's called The Buddha Bartender.
Okay.
And so went out there, and he makes you a cocktail while you do the event. So like they give you a little glass, put some rocks in it. Cool story. And he's just a good guy. I did a post about him. It's going to go out. I'll probably send it out in the next few days because I've been trying to catch up on everything about how you can misjudge people, a book by its cover, because he's a big dude. He's this power lifter. And then he's got tattoos everywhere, piercings everywhere, but one of the nicest guys you'd ever think of. And he does high-end coaching for athletes, business owners, and then they partner with Pitbull to like try and help stop teen suicide. And they're just good, solid people. So flew out there Wednesday night, did his podcast. Brian was going to be the next day, but so I didn't get a chance to meet him. And then I went to Sean's clinic, jumped back in there, felt great again after going out there for a day. Then did you ever meet Tamara Thompson?
I don't remember
at all. She has Broadcaster Authority, and that's that podcast where they help people basically get their podcast going, record it, do all that kind of stuff.
That's one that you spoke at a couple times, or weren't you a guest judge or something like that?
Yeah, I went out there once to be on the podcast. I went back and
I think we had her on one time.
If we didn't, we need to, because they are really a fun group. But she was done recording her podcast. Originally, I was going to do hers on Thursday night. And she's like, hey, we're actually booked up through Q1 of 2026. So we ended up going to dinner. And it was actually better not to do the podcast because we just sat and had amazing conversation with her and her wife. They're just a really cool couple. And then they ended up just driving me to the airport. And I flew home, did laundry, and then took off for Vegas. And just stopped to making it about me. But
it's always about you, Brian.
I know. Sunday night, met up with Dr. Jay Carter, really cool guy, man. This guy, met him through Brad Lee's closer school. he has the most amazing stories of like being all over the world. He was military, then he was law enforcement, then he was private personal bodyguards
I
for
need him on
celebrities.
Helping the Brave, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, he'd be a great guy to bring on. And just he has stories after stories. And we went and met up at a cigar lounge in Vegas called 8 Cigar Lounge, caught up there. He's like, you want to go to dinner? I'm like, yeah, okay. Pulls up in his Rolls Royce. First time I've ever been in a Rolls Royce, so he's got a Rolls Royce Ghost. And it's so funny because you don't open the door's open for you and closed for you, which is a very weird thing. So we went and did that. And then we went to another cigar bar and just continued the conversation. And then Monday, John Gafford, I was on his podcast. He met him also through Steve, and a really cool story. I'm going to kind of go about this. All the podcasts I've been on were a result of knowing Steve. So we made it a point to talk about him in the podcast. We talked about him with Brian Grassos. And then I didn't know this, but John released his book on Tuesday. Steve wrote the foreword. And Steve was actually going to be at the book launch, and they were going to do things around it with the Speakeasy group and everybody else. And for those who don't know, Steve unfortunately passed 2 months ago, or 3 months ago now, I think, in August. Yeah. So anyway, it was just a really enjoyable experience of being around people that inspire you but are so just down to earth at the exact same time. So it was a really good week for me. What about you?
Well, Joshua Marsden. Remember,
I'd have to see pictures.
We met him at Growth Hacking Live, actually.
Okay.
He's a vet, and so I had on Helping the Brave yesterday, and we talked about the same thing. He loved my opener for Helping the Brave, which is a video, and he's like, "Where'd you get that done?" Blah, blah, blah. I go, the funny thing is that was Henry Sims handled that for me probably 4.5 years ago. He goes, "I'll have to reach out to him." I go, "I don't know if he does it anymore, but any of your pods can do that kind of stuff." Yeah.
He's still dabbling in some little stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, so it was just, and that brought up the whole Steve Sims thing for us too, the whole thing, connection and all that stuff. And that's, and this guy, he was a vet. Mm-hmm. And then now, what he does, they buy e-commerce companies. And and then package, makes them better and everything else. And his plan is then to spin it all off in 26. And he has all this other software, and he helps a lot of e-com companies grow and everything else. And what he did for years, now he does for only himself and grows that. And then he teaches other people how to do it. But it's awesome. It's actually was a really good conversation. And I've had some really good conversations lately, but I want to go back to what you were doing. So out of all the stuff you did, what did you get?
It's different for each one. When I went to the Bookable, it's where is the industry going as far as
let me back up. So what I'm getting at is one of the biggest things, and this is what came up about going to different conferences, right, is if you're not taking something away and implementing it, you're wasting your time. So my question to you is, what did you get out of those things that you're going to implement that's going to help you?
Sure. Different for different ones. So like the Bookable one is reaching out to former clients and saying like, hey, who can you refer me to in 2026? Who else do you know? What else do you possibly need help with? Because you've already spoke to those people, right? You're not having to take out ads. You're not having to do anything else. And then nurturing your own leads list. So I talked with Joel yesterday, got 2,700 people on the email list. What am I doing? Those are all people who download the cheat sheet, but I have not done a good job of follow-up and nurturing those people. So
have you sent them a newsletter weekly?
So I finally got the design and layout of everything done, and that's what I'm working on.
Okay. You've been working on his newsletter for a while, sir. Just get it out.
It was done, and they created the template so I can go on and edit it now.
I know. I'm getting it. It's like me. You have to just get on it.
Yes.
Do like Steve said. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. Get it out and make it better as you go.
Yes. Sorry, I had to cough there.
Oh, sorry.
The other thing I started doing is this is more. I started using the AI glasses. So if I'm at an event,
I saw that with you're doing the readings of people. That
and those videos are starting to take off more so than the other one. So I've got several of those that are going to be cut up and done. And I know what you're going to say, have a pod do it. I don't think I can get it to a pod doing it yet. You know what I mean? Without them understanding.
You know what? I didn't think I could have them go through my pod match and match all my speakers either until I told them exactly what I wanted to do. And then guess what? I don't have 150 waiting for me to get back to them now. They're
true, but I would need to give them like cards. They'd have to understand it because what I'm doing is I'm taking a picture of the card and putting it out there. It's not impossible.
You're saying about cutting it up. They just need to cut up. You just need to tell them where to cut it.
Oh, I've already got that. Opus does it for me. But what I'm having to do is add in these, take a picture of the card that is relevant to the person, then add it in as B-roll. That's what's helping those jump a little bit. So it's going to take some manual labor. It's fine. I've got some time.
Or you just record a whole bunch of them all by yourself.
Right.
For every
But
card.
I still
Show
need
the card,
right.
and then talk about it.
Right. But what's what I'm saying is with the AI video ones, I already recorded them. I have to go back and find the card that's associated with the person. So when I say it, stop, add in the card so the audience can see it and
What
do
I'm
it.
getting at is the card that you're talking about on there. Don't you have the cards with you?
Oh, yeah.
Can't you just bring it up in front of your glasses as you're talking to them so they can see the card?
It is. The problem is usually the booth, there's 300 different cards. So I just well, I guess they're sitting.
Well, I'm just saying, but you as you're talking, so you don't know which one it is.
Correct. Until the person walks up, then I have to dig through because it's 3 decks creates one set of cards.
Right.
That makes sense.
I know, but so why don't you just slow down
right?
and do that?
Because I don't carry all of them loose like that when I go to events.
I know, but
I
I'm
pick
just
the
saying,
most popular ones.
I know
Now,
what you're saying.
On the opposite of what you're asking, I can go through the deck of cards, pick something, go find pictures of celebrities or other people, and do it with the AI.
I'm just talking about when you're talking to the person, just slow down, find out who the person is first, find that card, have it as you explain to them, then show it on your class. I'm just trying to speed up your process so you don't have to use a VA. You just have now that's out there.
Well, I don't have to use a VA though. That's what I'm saying is all I have to do is do the recording with the AI glasses because it only records for up to 3 minutes and it cuts off.
Yeah.
And then so what I can do is do the videos. Once I get home, I have the cards and can dig through them. Like what the event I was at,
I'm trying to stop that digging through the cards after you get home, where you do it while you got there. And I understand what you're saying.
No, but you're not listening to me. It's a small table and I can't lay them all out. So I don't want to waste 3 minutes of the time searching through.
But can you organize them? Can you organize the cards by how you look for them?
No, they're color coded. Yes, but you're still going to have to dig through them. So it'd be wasting video time. I hear what you're saying.
Before you go through, but when you look at the moment, this is a question. When they come up to you, you know who they are. You know what card you need.
Yes, but I don't know where the cards are. And so each person's space is different.
I understand that.
Right.
But can't you organize them enough to where there's these 10 cards here that are this type of person?
No. So for example, some of the cards, so I'll just show them here, like their forehead, nose, nostrils. Some of them are dimples, cleft lines. Other ones are ears, cheeks, chin. So there's hundreds of cards. So it wouldn't be a way. And then, like I said, I had a small round table.
Right.
There wouldn't be a way to do it without wasting time on the video going through the cards.
I'm saying forget the video right now.
Right.
As the person comes up and you look at them.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, so I'm going to talk about this, this, and this, and this. And you grab it and then you talk about it and you show the card while you're doing it. It's the pre-planning beforehand.
If I knew who was going to be there, yes. But at the event, there's lines of 10 to 12 people and you're trying to do it in a short period of time, not feasible. Now, in the events where somebody gives me volunteers ahead of time and tells me who the volunteer is going to be, yes, that would be possible. Right. But just on the fly live stuff, no.
Or tell the person that's putting on the show that you need somebody to help you organize while you're doing it, and then have them. Dude, stop saying no.
Well, because you're not. It's a free for all. So what it was is like when I'm working these, when they do the vendor booth exhibits and they just walk around.
There's gotta be a way. You keep saying no on everything. If I took no for a reason, I wouldn't do an 8-day VA loan.
Right. But with the examples you're giving, the answer is no. If it was different, where I know who's going to come up and I say, hey, have these people swing by the booth later and we set up the cards and then turn on the glasses, yes.
That's what you need to do more of that.
Right.
For your glasses. So what you could do is after you talk to that person and you did it, then you're like, hey, could you come back in 5 minutes? And you find the card and then you redo it again.
Yes. So that's the yes part of your answer. If it's 2 or 3 people and not 14 people waiting in line, then you can go, hold on, let me get through the different cards. And this is what we're going to talk about when you're there.
All I'm saying is when you do it from now on, do 1 or 2 out of the 15 people you do, only focus on 1 or 2 of them with the right card. Are you following what I'm getting at? There's got to be one that you can do, because you don't need 50 videos of this. You just need 1 from each event or 2 from each event. I'm just trying to get 1 or 2 of them at each event
to
with
go
the
viral.
card, and there's got to be a way to quickly be able to do one or two.
Yeah.
Because there's the same, and that's what I'm saying. These type of people show up all the time. Put those people here, and then then you can go, and then that just saves you time, and you can upload right away and then go viral. Right
and
away.
there are, so to give you like credit for what you're talking about, I lay out like what are the 3 basic types of eyebrows, because those are all out there. So the 3 basic shapes and chameleon eyebrows, I always lay those out. But everybody's individual face is so different that
I understand, though. I'm just
that's
trying
the
to
other
help
part.
you record stuff where you
Right.
don't have to come back, find the card, re-edit it, put it in as B-roll. I'm just saying there's got to be an easier way. That's all I'm trying to do.
Sure. At entertainment events where they give you the full table to lay everything out, yes, that's possible.
I know, but I'm just saying, even if you
sign up in line and get in line for it, then that's possible. But at the events that I was at, not possible.
I understand what you're saying. I get it. I'm just saying there's got to be 1 or 2 you can do at an event. Just max 1 or 2, because you don't want the same event with 50 of them on your fucking screen anyway.
Right, because they're all going to have the same lanyards.
So there's got to be 2 or 3 cards you could lay out that you're going to, okay, I'm going to hit these 3 today, and I know I'm going to get these 3 type of people, because that's his average. And that's what I'm talking about. So your eyebrows, your ears, your chin, your whatever, your lips, those are average stuff you always talked about for people to understand.
Yeah, everything you can see straight on.
Right.
I do want to.
I'm just saying, I know we've been on this for 5 minutes. I'm trying to help you. I'm just saying there's got to be a way you can do it easier way by planning ahead of time hey, I know I'm going to run into these two people at this event, and I'm going to record these 2 types here.
Sure. And I do want to share, you asked what is something else, and that is, I think I told you in the Ignite group, I asked the question, I'm like, listen, I'm ADD. How can I get my tasks and everything in order? And Coach Deb Cole gave me a cool tool that I just started playing with last night that I think will help people. It's a Chrome extension, and it's called One Tab. And so what you can do is you can take all your open windows, and you go and you download it, and you click on the little arrow here. And then when it downloads, you basically say, take all the open tabs, and it'll do just like this, where they're organized. So like, here's the 10 tabs I had open. Well, if they're not ones that I'm going to go to on a regular basis, I can still close them down and come back to them. So like Success Finders, or like this is a guy's website that he was having me look at. Okay. Right. But for ones that I want to come back and use, you can put them into folders like here where it's AI tools. And here's all the AI tools.
Where's my short fuse? I don't see my short fuse on there. You didn't say
it's not there yet. It's under, hold on, where it's under one of the other tabs, because I haven't downloaded it. But yeah, so you can do.
It's all about you. I was trying to get me in here at one.
I know.
16 minutes about you.
I know. We normally hear about your pod nonstop. But like, yeah, here's the Ignite group. So if you want to go, okay, well, where's the workshops? Okay, cool. And then you don't have to keep the windows open.
It's a file folder for your tabs, basically, yes, and where you go.
And it's awesome because you can store things the way you need to. And, you can do it by your business. You can do it by tools, and you can stop having, at least I used to have 4 open windows that had different tabs for them. Now I'm just like, nope, I need this one today, and that's it. And I can close it back down. And it has mentally helped my cluttered tab brain going, which tab, wasting time to just get right there with it.
And so I think it's a suggestion really cool for you was to use my tasks in Gmail.
Correct.
And
I did. I downloaded that also. I haven't played with it as much.
I've been using that forever. But the problem
is, you and Nuno agreed on those 2.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, that was Nuno's statement. That's what I was just telling you.
Yeah,
because I've been using that for a while. And I put stuff in there that I need to get done, even not today, but in there to remind me. And then when I got my pod, I was able to get rid of so many things I wanted done. And that's the whole thing. And that's what it's about, organizing your life and certain things, and you'll get to it. And that's just how that all works out. So.
100%. All right. What about you? What have you been working on?
So what I've been working on is, like, I've been working on vibe coding and other stuff like that, creating.
So for the new people who don't know what vibe coding is.
And it's VIBE coding. It's basically you talk either with your mouth or your hands to AI, and it actually writes the code for you. You don't have to know.
For people who don't know, he meant you type it, not use your hands. Because there's going to be somebody who's looking at the screen going,
yeah, well, you could. If you have that camera set up to where it reads sign language,
or if you get the meta glasses, right? Have you? We'll come back to that.
I haven't. Yeah. Well, it's not about you anymore.
I know.
18 minutes on you. No, but it's just I was on radio earlier this week, and I was talking about that for mortgage people and real estate, if they're waiting till next year to survive, not to in our county, because we're only going to have 28 more transactions according to what we're promoting for next year. And if you think so, that's not enough to feed 3,100 agents and 1,500 loan officers.
Yeah.
And so I told him, there's so many opportunities out there. Everybody's complaining about AI, but because of vibe coding and what the opportunities are for making personal apps and that's what the big push for the next 18 months. This is just the start to do this stuff. And that you need to get into it because now is the time to get into it. Just because one of the things I was asked you about, did you, my short fuse, which I'm sure you didn't play with yet, but I came up with shortfuse.io, which was, I needed
show the people.
I needed a URL shortener.
Yep.
And I went out to buy one for something else I was doing. I haven't shared a thing in a while. I'm serious. I haven't. I needed to. There it is. Yep. So I came up with shortfuse.io. So you can't see it. I'm just showing the window, but shortfuse.io. And so I created a short link program. And I was looking because what happened is I was creating something and I didn't want the long link to know where people are going back to. So I went and looked and there's Builtly, and there's a few other ones. I didn't want to pay $29. And so I'm like, I wonder if I can make this. So I created this in Lovable. And first it was just easy. I just did the short link thing.
Right.
Then I told it to look at Reddit, deep research, because it was asking me, the one thing about this whole stuff using Lovable is you can talk to it and it will go find stuff. Like, it's like, it told me you might as well do a QR code because you're already doing this. And so we did that. And I said, okay, now search Reddit, search deep research. What are people asking for that's not out there on QR codes? And one of the things was the fact that you can, when you make a code, it's a smart one where you can print a QR code one time and change the destination of it forever.
Yeah.
And then I also created it where you can do it by time-based routing. So if you're a restaurant, I have a lunch menu, I have a dinner menu, and I only want one QR code, you're good. If you're a speaker and you go on different places, you can do a geolocation to where the stage, it's already changing in your PowerPoint. Where you don't have to change that to a new QR code. Oh, I forgot to put the new QR code for this in there.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You just go in here and change, and it's easy to change it. You just go edit, boom, new destination, done. And when you make them, and you can smart routing, you can do, okay, what is the rules? I'm doing business hours, the destination, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, time. It's only good from this time to this time. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then you can rotate them, geofencing, where are you looking at when it gets there and how many meters around where you're at. So
a meter.
Yeah, it is actually that I've Ulf like me freaking figured out how to do this stuff. And so then you asked me about this last night.
Yeah. The UTM.
And then I was like, which I didn't know. I don't know if it's popped up yet because I haven't made a template yet. But what did I tell you? It was UTM tracking is a method for tracking the effectiveness of marketing campaigns by adding special parameters to your URLs. And that's what it does. So you can make sure that whatever URL, your short URL you're using, and what's nice about my QR codes, because of the way they're set up, you can track that one too. So, and then if you don't know how to create your own one, you can go here, create my own for me and use AI how you want. I want a cyberpunk neon city look on it, all that stuff. Yeah. What are you laughing at? It's in here. It's in here.
I know. I'm reading it. It's just, that was a funny thing.
Well, one thing is because that is my bighangry.media.
Right.
It's cyberpunk. That's the look. That's how I can. Yeah. So go check it out. Sign up for free.
Since you brought it up, show them that too.
Well, here, let me finish. I need some beta testing on this. So go sign up for a code. There's a beta tester, but if you know me, reach out to me after you sign up. I'll take care of you. And then I need you to test it because I've tested a lot of it. And like everything, like the biggest problem I had was setting up the domain originally. It wasn't working right. Of course, then my testing and got it fixed. And then what's nice is it has a health monitor. Oh, see this? Did you see what just happened?
What does it say?
No, see that flickering?
Yeah.
My Apple's having problems.
Okay.
See what has happened. I'm going to have to, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Sure.
Without me.
All right. So the other thing, like Ed was talking about, is I was notoriously bad for years of just going to seminars. And if anybody's ever seen my notes, I take fantastic notes and then I wouldn't do anything with it. And so that's one of the things Ed is on my butt for and on the right ways is what are you actually going to implement? And so we both have joined recently a mastermind, and they have several calls a week. So every day at 8 a.m. there's a call to talk about how different people use AI. There's on Tuesdays, like how do you do traffic? On Wednesdays, there's the mastermind where they go over what are they seeing in the industry. And then there's open office hours that you can actually work on stuff and figure out in your CRM, which we all use high level, is how do I get this automation in place? How do I not? And so that's been a big change for me, is joining groups where it's not just lecture, but it's hands-on work and actually doing stuff. So that's what we're looking at, is like that one tab. Oh my God, that's going to be the biggest like change for me. Is I used to be so scatterbrained where all my tabs were. Now I know these are the ones I need that I go back to on a regular basis. I don't have to leave them open and sucking off energy out of my computer and everything else and, processing power. Now I just go, okay, I can easily repopulate that one. And so, for example, for me, a typical day is Opus clips for the videos, take them out, cut them up, write up, open my notepad, write up the write up for the video itself. Then I go throw it into ChatGPT, say, clean it up, make it, add emojis, don't use M dashes, which, by the way, that's me writing it. It's just refining my own work, not creating from scratch. Some people have it do it completely from scratch. There's no right or wrong way. I just like doing it in my voice first and then having it clean it up. Then go back in and edit it. Sometimes I use Canva to download B-roll pictures to put in there. So what those are is pictures that kind of support what you're talking about. And then once I'm done with it, then I go and post it. Now I'm still doing it native right now, which native is I go open up Instagram, post it there, personal or professional Instagram, personal Instagram. Then those two push to Facebook. Some people say you should just post directly to Facebook. I don't. I just have it pushed down. That same thing goes to LinkedIn. Same thing goes to TikTok. And I've been bad about forgetting to put it on YouTube. But see, there are things like if you go high level, then you can actually have a social planner. Now, some of the people that you listen to say that if you do it through a social planner, that it's going to be pushed down by the different platforms. Nobody really knows that for sure, but they all hint that, hey, come and spend time on our app, because with every one of these platforms, time is rewarded. And meaning the longer you spend on the platform, the more it's going to follow you, push you, you name it. So there's a guy here in Dallas, Ryan Stewman. He's got something called Build Your Machine. And that is, he goes in every day, puts his post out, same time, but he spends time and types it out on the platform. Now, if people copy and paste, it's looking and saying like, well, you didn't use very many keystrokes. Are you really here? There's some people who believe you have to go and warm up an audience, meaning go to that platform, go like and comment on a bunch of other people's stuff before you post your own, kind of to let the platform know, hey, I'm here, and to let the algorithm know that you matter. Now, there's different ways that people work around that. Some people have what they call a pod, kind of like you hear Ed talk about a pod. And that is a group of friends, family, coworkers, whatever it is, that when you do a post, you go, hey, will somebody go and like and comment on this post? The reason they do that, especially on LinkedIn, is if you get X amount of comments or likes, it tells the algorithm, oh, this is important, push this out to way more people. So if you start doing that, it's a way to say, hey, I'm going to use my comrades in arms here to help us all grow together. And that's something that's free, right? Now, there's services you can pay to do that. But in my opinion, I'd rather just have friends do that. So I'm going to be looking to join a pod where we all support each other after we do social media posts, because we're all doing it. We might as well lean on each other to support each other at the exact same time. So what are other ways that, or other things that are out there? We talked about it before. Get out there, get on podcasts. Why? You're getting exposure to people that you have never seen of you before, never heard of you before. One dropped yesterday on Wednesday. I did with Lindsay. Oh, Ed is coming back in.
Yeah, sorry about that. So what happened? Go ahead, you finish.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about the Power Podcast for a second. Well, we're talking about social media posting first, and I was moving over to podcasts. So I did in the last 2 weeks 4 podcasts. Why? Because they were people that reached out, and they're people that I really enjoyed meeting. And if you get a chance to spend time with people in the room, go and do it. But like one that just came out on Instagram, it was with Lindsay, and I'm drawing a blank on her last name, so I'm going to have to look it up here in a second. I want to say Lindsay Dowd. But we just did a podcast because when I went to Austin and did I did Karen Eldad's podcast Lindsay was another speaker, and we all went to dinner and we got to meet. So I do think if you get a chance to do in-person podcasts, that's absolutely the way to go. But, if you do other ones, what are you getting to do? You're getting to meet really cool people who've invested time, money, effort, energy, whatever you want to say it, into creating a podcast. Because what's the rule, Ed? 21 is most people never make it to 21, or what's your rule?
It's not my rule. It's just the way it is.
I know.
I know, but here, let me do it. I gotta do a window.
Sure.
I'm just trying to see if I can share that window without taking. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. I'm going to go back to us. All right. So the rule of this is the way podcasting is. By episode 3, 90% of podcasts fail by episode 3. Of what's left over, that 10%, 90% of that fails by episode 20. So if you make it to 21, you're in the top 1% of all podcasts out there, and that's huge. But what happened to me is, I think I'm on a beta pro of Apple thing, the system, and it's having my video card is having an issue when I go into short fuse and it does something, it starts flickering. And so I got to find out if it's my short fuse causing the problem or if it's the software, because and so that's something I got to go talk to it about. Sure. But we were talking about earlier
podcasts. Well, we're talking about podcasts, just to wrap a bow on that. Is a lot of people don't know there's services out there that can match you up with people. But if you get a chance,
that's like Podmatch will do that. But there's also companies that are agencies that will do that. Correct. And they're expensive.
Oh yeah. It's funny because somebody will find you on a podcast and then they'll reach out and they go, hey, you can pay me to help get you on podcast. I'm like, didn't you just find me on a podcast?
Yeah. Well, they're like, it's $1,500 and we'll get you on 4 podcasts a month. I'm like, go do Podmatch for $90 a month and get on tons of them.
Yes.
You just have somebody else write your bio for you.
Well, you can have ChatGPT write your bio for you.
Yeah. And I need a prompt these days. No, you don't. No more prompts are going to be needed. As every day goes forward, the prompts are less and less needed, because the prompts have smarted up the AIs to where it doesn't need it. So you're gonna cough or sneeze or something.
Yeah, I thought I was going to.
Don't cry. Anyway, so then I've had that happen to me twice on my laptop, and I have to reboot. And then, of course, what happens when I reboot? Then my camera doesn't connect, and that's why I wrote the program for that I have to move to iOS to get it worked on. But one of the things that the short IO that I was talking about earlier, the reason I created it is, and it wasn't for this one, but I'm just going to show it. I was creating a website for somebody. This is me. This is my website I created. This is a cyberpunk look. See, it's the green look. It's just a little different. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a different looking site because Big Hangry Media is a different looking company. And it breaks it all down. And the thing, I was telling a friend of mine yesterday who's huge into high level, his number's number 9, about what you can do with this stuff. And that's why I created the short link program, so I could just have a short link and send it over to them, so you didn't have the long link from wherever I was building it at. And yes, I'm not really a website guy, but through Lovable, I was able to do a lot of stuff, and it's amazing what you can do there. And I've created like 6 different websites, and they're not just websites; they're freaking authority websites. Is how, wouldn't you say? I mean, you saw them.
Oh yeah, no, they're fantastic, and that's where ChatGPT is good, Perplexity is good, Claude is good. It's what are you doing with it?
Right. And I could have never done this until I found Level. I mean, I told it what I wanted, and then yes, I made major changes. But I mean, it's just amazing what you can do, and that's all from the Growth Hacking Live, the learning to vibe code from that.
That's awesome. See, what people need to hear, for people who don't always listen, is neither one of us knew this existed 6 weeks ago. The difference between you and I is you've dove into this, spent time on weekends, and you started in not Lovable. You started in Replit, which is a different one.
And I still have that one. So I started building Pod Veteran, which is a whole podcasting editing software from soup to nuts, all the way through, like ridiculous things I'm doing in it. And I'm 3/4 of the way done. I just need to finish out 2 more things and then work on the distribution channels.
And we talked about that once before. I just had somebody who one time I said, well, if I want to do this as an app, what would it cost? And they're like $8,000. And that was just to get started on it. Right. And now people have that same power in their hands to do it. And then, like you mentioned before, I think it may have been before we even started recording or went live, that it used to be prompt engineers were a role, a position, just like before. If you were a coder, 10, 15 years ago, if you were a coder, you were writing your own check. Now, not so much.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And then so when I came back, I started creating these things like, I need this done. I need to fix my YouTube channel, and everybody has YouTube issues. And I did this. And the problem is, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. I did that for a website thing that I was working on, still working on both of those. But then I learned so much by doing my pod veteran and doing it over and over again. Because what you don't understand is vibe coding is like Legos. So you have to understand that the AI doesn't always remember the whole program.
Right.
But I've came up with, so what I do is I use ChatGPT prompts and I talk to it in that way. And then whatever the issue is, I take over to this one, see what it comes up with, sees what the program comes up with. And then I tell the program, what do you think about this? What chat came, oh, that is so much better and more adept, more deeper than what I would have done for the repair. And that's what I do to fix the stuff.
There was something.
Let me add one more thing. I've added to where I told it to remember and lock things away and cannot touch it without asking me.
That's what I was going to say. Emma did a training the other day on how to personalize your GPT and all the settings to go in and do it with. I was talking about the lovable. Lovable.
Gotcha. So in order for it to not go back through and destroy certain things as it's adding new things, because it now knows to go back and read everything before it does anything to make sure it doesn't mess with any pipeline, any AI, any of this other stuff that we have connected already. Because that was the biggest headache, is I built that out, and it's like, I said, what's the problem? Well, you have 3 pipelines, for the flow. I'm like, there's your problem, because it created another pipeline for this, another pipeline for this. That's not what I wanted. And so it's just the learning phase. And go ahead.
Well, the best part though is it's intuitive learning, right? Like, you don't have to be a mega genius to do it. It's just, you've gotten in and play with it. So it's like, anything else, when you first get it, it looks daunting, it looks overwhelming, but the more you play with it, the more accurate you get and the better the results you get.
First thing I would tell you to do is ask your GPT chat, what is everything you need to know about websites to be able to explain for it to do? What is the header? What is the hero? What is that is on landing pages? But when you're in the app and you want to adjust the size or whatever, I always tell it to use best practices on certain things. And then when I'm creating an app that's supposed to be through the roof, I use the word moonshot for everything. And it understands that more than anything else. And I started using that way too much.
Hey, why not? Right? It's something else doing the work for you. So
well, it's just going to give you basic unless you tell it amazing. The other thing that I've done is to polish up the short fuse to make it look amazing, like, because it didn't look that way. And then Perry Belcher said how he told it that he told one of his apps that he's got to get in front of Silicon Valley to get some funding, so he needs to polish like a Silicon Valley app and blah blah blah.
Right, like he wants to sell it to angel investors.
Well, I did differently. No, well, I added that part. So I told it I'm getting 20 million of VC funding, and I need to make this app look like a Silicon Valley app that's going to be worth that kind of money. And it changed everything on. The problem was it put where it showed you as a print once forever. It had in there, I received 20 million of VC, level shit, whatever shares that it was say. And I'm like, no. And so this time what I tell it is, in parentheses, do not tell anybody.
Yeah. That's funny.
But go ahead.
I just hate how, like, I still can't get ChatGPT to stop using M dashes. I'm like, stop using M dashes. I put it in there every time. They'll still sneak them in there.
Yeah, it does it on even the AI for building your landing pages and everything else. So I tell it, go through and get rid of M dashes. You have to tell it that. It's just what it does. It's its own thing. So you just have to tell it. You can tell. You used to be able to tell it, don't do it, and then it would remember. Like you tell it, remember this. And I've done that, and it stopped for a while. Then I think with the new versions, you might have to tell it again. Try that.
The newer ones.
Like 5.0. And that's the other thing with a lot of these builds, like Replit, and that's the other one I use, Replit, and Lovable. They connect all the AI. And on my Pod Veteran one that I'm working on, the podcasting, I have 66 different agents, and I have 4 different level of overseeing things that oversees the whole thing. And it's amazing what they do. And the voice genius that's learning your voice and learning this, and that what I should have done is finished building it out and then added that in afterwards.
Yeah.
I built it out first because I didn't know you could do it. And I was surprised what I could do. And so next time I do something like this, like I'm building right now in Lovable, my AEO tube, which is to search your YouTube and go through it and do all the keywords that you're not supposed to do, but look at things where you're not getting the views and everything else that you should be getting. And I had it in Replit, and I'm like, I wonder how since I did my last app in Lovable, I'm like, let's see. So I was able through GitHub, you upload it in there, and then you copy the stuff over into Lovable and have it, or whatever they call it, and have it redo it. And so rebuilt it out. They'll totally built it differently than the way Replit did.
See, it's just, you just got, and when he's talking about Replit and Lovable and everything else, it's like, are you PC or are you Mac? You can go in, play with them all. They're very inexpensive to play with. And then you add money the more you use them, right?
Right. It's $25 to join Lovable, but then the more you use it, the more you got to pay. Replit, it depends on how you have it set up. Because it won't use the most advanced AI,
right?
Unless you pay for that. And then it's 5 times the price. Wow. So remember I was telling you it was $10 an hour on Replit. Replit is what they said. Well, guess what? It's $50 an hour, but that's still cheaper than 300,000 or 800,000 to build out code on stuff, you know?
Yeah.
What did I send you that they should see? Oh yeah. There's replit.dev, there's bolt.new,
right,
cursor.com, lovable.dev, rocket.new, getmocha.com, vo.dev. Now it's a new one I'm seeing all over Facebook. base44.com, windsurf.com, GitHub, Copilot X is a Microsoft one. Tab 9 is another one. Right. I'm going to start playing around with Claude Code.
Somebody mentioned that one. Yeah.
Then there's one that's Mojo. And then there's Lovable AI Studio that's on beta, and there's Fig Jam AI. So there's so many versions and so new ones coming out, and that's what I'm talking about. So, and I'm going to, the Claude Code, because I added that into my Pod Veteran I have so many levels of AI in there to help you do certain things, like only do titles, only do blog posts. I want my voice to be picked up, so it does the intro and outro for my podcast, so I don't have to. And the writing of my blogs, I want in my voice and other stuff like that. And same with all my social media posts. But if I have a co-host, I want it written in their voice also.
Right.
I'm talking writing voice, not voice.
Right. And the reason you're bringing up all these different softwares is nobody knows. It's going to kind of be like before. Are you beta? Are you VHS? One will win out. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Sora 2 came out, or maybe it was 3 weeks ago. And everybody was doing all these videos with their face and everything else. And I haven't seen anybody post a Sora video this week anymore. You know
why? Because they learned that if you go with a different AI, it doesn't put the
watermark.
Watermark. That's how. So
but I still don't see that many people using videos. I'm still seeing a lot of people on social media doing regular posts.
Well, because here's the thing: is people want to know it's you,
right?
That's the biggest thing they're worried about is AI. I'm not doing AI that way. I'm using it to help speed up your process. I don't have to you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to do your podcast a month, right? If you do 4 episodes, that's anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month to take care of that.
Right.
If you do 8 episodes, you're probably talking 16, it's double that. So now I have a software that you're going to pay a certain dollar amount and you drop it in there and it does everything for you. And if you don't like the thumbnails, go get your own thumbnails done and then upload them into it, and it'll attach it in the 4 jobs. That's awesome. It's just amazing what I'm able to do and what's out there. And I'm like, oh, what's it going to be like in 18 months from now? And the way I've set up this program is the more users, it learns from what everybody's doing. It doesn't steal from them. It just learns, like if they hit a home run on one of their videos, it will find out what that is and then help everybody do the same thing.
Yeah. All right. I got to get running. We've been on here 45.
I know it's a long day and I had to reboot because of my issues. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being you. And you want to take us out?
Yeah. Once again, thank you for joining us, everybody. This is Ed Parcaut and myself, Brian Galke. We are ACES53 on Tuesdays. It's just Ed and I having a conversation. Just so happens that this is a Thursday because we're playing catch up. Tuesday was Veterans Day, but we try and bring on guests every once in a while who have a special skill or talent, something they're going to teach us. But honestly, we haven't had one on in a while because we're both learning so many different things in these different groups. Like I talked earlier about the group we're in and how they have calls every day. That we're just trying to share what we learned to see what can help you guys at the same time. So best way to support us is for you to recommend us to some of your friends and go and like this information. So appreciate it, everybody. Thanks, Ed.
All right, thank you. All right, make it a great day.